Hello, hello, hello. What's up, guys? Morning. Grand Rising. Okay. I dimmed the brightness on my screen yesterday, so I don't know if I'm super dim or that's just how I have the camera set up. I'm a little dim. Sorry, whatever. All right, guys, let's look at charts. Today, we're going to either buy something, we're going to sell something, or we're going to do nothing. That's it. One of three things. Market's either going to go up, down, or sideways. And I'm here to facilitate this experience today. Okay, so basically, since end of New York session, really during Asian session, markets have just been tanking. Just a nice little drip to the downside. So let's go look at that. Let's go take a gander over here. And here we go. So what's good? What's good? Camera looks fine. Sweet. All right, first of the Tuesday. What's up, son? James, Edgar, Jesus, Lucio, Joe, Alfredo. Welcome, everyone. Mates, appreciate you all with the patience this morning. Leg day went a little long. What's up, Reggie? What's good, brother? Edwin, you're looking at platinum. Unusual, but okay. We could take a look at that. Charts are charts, you know. Maybe we'll start looking at agriculture, you know, start buying cattle. Got Brandon, Patrick, Harshi, Diego, Emmanuel, what's up? Ibraneth, Marty, MC, BTC in the 90s soon. What up, Steven? Savage Kev, sup? BTC in the 90s soon. I'm not fully convinced, but it is definitely possible. It's not out of the equation. So I have one more line of defense here. And I've mentioned this plenty of times the last few weeks, but we have seen a shortage of demand when we've gotten below 107. So if today, if we don't bounce out of, because this is what we've had lined up since June, is this like 101 level. So if we just crack into this and rebound right away, we still might be bullish on the daily. But that's it. If that's not the case, let's say we just continue to maintain these levels, then yes, I do think we can work our way further down. But this is basically either going to be the final test, like that max test of, it's honestly taking people out of the market for sure, like for a while. If we breaking below here, I think really tests a lot of retail patience, and it's like, all right, cool. It's going back down to the 70s or whatever, and it would be a massive liquidation because we'd be going back, 5 months or so worth of price action. So I think it's a perfect excuse for things to go up, but obviously we're not going to just be married to this idea. Holding on to hope is not what we're here to do, right? With that being said, that is Bitcoin. But let's go take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and, we talked about this yesterday. I wanted us to get into sells. I wanted to have an entry. Didn't get one yesterday. And then the only setup that we did have was the one that happened right off the open. Right? We got into this mitigation zone, and I didn't take this sell because I was mindful for Dow. I thought Dow could go higher, but I was doing some back testing yesterday, and I was like, okay, like I've rejected a lot of setups that I've been like, all right, this looks good, but or this, but that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, in certain circumstances, is there a way to understand and to really contextualize these ideas? So, for example, New York Open pops into this to mitigate NQ. Okay, that was visible here. Like, this was apparent. This is textbook. But I'm thinking about, this came back to trade off of Friday's New York Open, and I'm looking at Dow Jones, and Dow Jones didn't even take out London session highs or anything like that. And then Friday's New York Open was actually somewhere over here. So I was like, okay, technically we are trading beyond Friday's New York Open anyway, so understandable. But one of the things, and this goes back to some of Wyckoff's principles, is the law of, oh my God, what's it called? Effort and result. So, what's up, St. Lucia? What's up? Trading the setup, not the asset. I like it. And when you're thinking about effort and result, and this is when I talk about demand, basically, so what I'm talking about demand, and what does that entail? And one of the things that I noticed was that we had a lot of volume here on the open. Of course, right? That's how this is usually what happens during New York Open. But despite us getting all of this volume in this zone, we really didn't go anywhere. So you get, basically max volume on the day, but the market doesn't do much. So when we see this happening within our mitigation zone, it's a pretty strong signal that, okay, like clearly, as much as buyers are wanting to go into this, the market's not going anywhere. So this is a good indication, especially when we have, a textbook mitigation setup. But I'm thinking, okay, well, what about Dow? Like, is Dow going to be an effect? So I'm building up a case study around using volume in certain circumstances, especially with like divergence with correlated assets. So comparative divergence, and then understanding and to help with demand, just structure in general. So this is just to kind of give extra value to certain confirmations in certain situations. Just because I'm looking at setups and then I'm thinking, okay, that could have been, this literally would have been the high of the day and hundreds and hundreds of points later. So noticing that there's been, and this is happening, over the years, which is cool. Like, I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what a gift that there's always more that you can add to your arsenal. Not necessarily that more is better. That's definitely not the point. But it's that you can create more value for yourself, either adding a confirmation or not even adding confirmation, but getting more clarity with entries or exits, etc. So just always being able to improve your game is valuable. But I will say, it's not that now, let me pull the trigger, let me just implement this into my system right away. It's that, okay, cool, here's a couple examples in which this is the case. Whereas in other examples, not so much. And now on the way down, if you guys were looking at the markets last night, NQ started to work its way to the downside here pretty quickly. Like during Asian session, it picked up a lot of momentum. So I did avoid taking any sort of NQ buys yesterday, as NASDAQ was just going and dropping and dropping and dropping, as so was Dow Jones. Now, I wanted a buy with Dow, and we did get reversals out of Dow Jones. So we did see that, and now we're getting New York Open. And so we ended up a little bit of reversals here, but nothing too significant. And the timing of it, of course, wasn't the best, but with macroeconomics aside, I was like, all right, cool. I'm down to see what this is going to look like. Okay, with all that being said, we have officially approached this level all the way over here with Dow. This for me was a mitigation zone with Dow Jones. So we traded all the way down to here. Now we're getting pretty good reversals. So when we see this, this is becoming very, very efficient. I wanted to see NQ work its way into this gap over here. Remember, I had talked about the market trading into this and then what that could mean for us. So I was really mindful, and I wanted us to work shorts all the way down into the zone. And now we've done that. So now that we're seeing NQ rebalancing, we've seen NQ effectively get into this imbalance. We're seeing, S&P work its way down slowly, and then now we've seen Dow Jones play into this level. Dow for me is giving us the higher low. Dow for me looks very much like it could be ready to turn things back around. So I am open. I'm very much open to buys. I think structure-wise, everything here looks very efficient. Imbalances are filled, etc. So if you weren't trading, 4 hours ago, 4.5 hours ago, I think we're in the right environment to do so. So now we're getting Dow into this level. So let me quickly, I didn't even realize where we were with the markets here. We're seeing Dow Jones crash into the zone where it could have a buy entry. Excuse me. Okay. So seeing Dow fall into this zone right over here, qualified for buy setups, in my opinion. We had a very nice reversal out of this. We traded up and beyond, created good structure here, quality demand. Of course, we've crashed all the way back down to these areas. But these look like a good place to see the market turn around, liquidating much of London session and trading into the push down. So could we see reversals from Dow Jones here? I think so. NASDAQ wasn't as bullish, and it's not really as bearish either. Of course, NQ, the downside of looking for a trade here is that NQ does have more of a gap to fill down here. So does NASDAQ trade all the way down to, let's say like this area? So seeing how we're trading here, I'm open to longing Dow. Yeah, so I'm open to longing Dow Jones. I am going to, I'm going to approach this with a little bit less risk just because it's dropping a bit more aggressively than Dow here. So take a position here. All right. And from here, let's see how it goes. Let's see. I'm still not quite in yet. Still doing contracts and all that stuff. Let's see. All right. Okay, so looking at how price action is playing out, if you look at how this is moving, I think you can see here, right, the rejection that we're getting, solid. Nice. Okay, so nice mitigation so far. I was able to sneak in right around 47.35. Yeah, right around here. All right. Where are we at? Gold. So let me actually pull that up because I do like the idea here on gold as well. All right, beautiful. So let's take a look at gold here real quick. Here we go. Looking at gold. Now, gold was an idea that we're looking at, zooming out a little bit more. Here we go. Tapped right into the zone. And then the other idea that we had in mind was for silver. Silver does look like it has to drop a bit more. Now, silver's sell-off here happened at right over here, right? So we had a huge move down. This was on October 28th, last Tuesday, so a week ago. And then this gold idea here is a couple days later. This is on the 29th. So also just let me make sure to do this real quick. I know I want us to be able to manage our stops here effectively. So if the market pumps a little bit higher, I do want to be able to go break even. Obviously, there's no guarantees that we go break even, but it would be nice. Okay. From just appearances here, it looks like NQ is a bit more bullish. Like it's pushing a bit more strongly. It's holding up a bit better, more effectively. So I wonder if NQ is going to be, just because obviously we saw this thing crash more, but the mitigation zone just looked better for me, for Dow. So, I mean, let's see if this rallies, and this is going to want to fill at least some of this imbalance. The stop isn't too big, so we do have some good opportunities here. All right, but so while that's doing its thing, we're now looking and we're seeing gold, right, super bearish, trading right into the zone. This is from the 29th. And then if you compare this to silver's price action, we can just see how silver also, right, collapsing, trading down to these levels. But it's got more to go. I feel like it's pretty typical for this imbalance to get filled out over here. And I feel like we'll have a better probability that this stays within the structure. So I'm going to wait it out for buys with silver here. So I'm going to stay patient here and see where we go. Now, Dow's almost at the mitigation level. If you guys caught a super nice entry down here, I think at this point, I mean, you're probably pretty good to withstand that. All right, so good rejection so far, though. Nice little push down. This was about 90 points or so. We've seen the market push up about 80. You know, if you believe like, all right, I think this was already smart money coming in, I don't need to see any more, then all right, feel free, tighten up your stop. If your trade management rules are like, nah, I'm just all or nothing, then cool. Just follow whatever your plan is. That's my take, you know. Okay. It's interesting how price action, this is a little different. These are like not necessarily like, they're not candle for candle, bullish, bearish. They're kind of just flip-flopping back and forth. So Honestly, would love if we get another nice little push here. I think we have a good chance of actually just not really dealing with any sort of like getting stopped out break even scenario. I feel like this is a very efficient trading out of these levels. If the market rips from here, it's probably going to go. And because, I mean, look at all of this Asian session liquidity and London session liquidity. There's a lot here. Not that you need to take it all the way up here. I feel like the most conservative approach would just be take it to this imbalance fill, collect the 2R. I mean, even I think going above this 3R makes a lot of sense. Collecting these highs. But at this point now, guys, cool. Stops to break even. Fantastic. So let's go take a look at these positions. All right. Oh, this thing is ripping. Yeah, so stops to break even. Let's go. My question for you all is now, where will you take this to? If you're noticing right now, NQ is starting to get right above those highs. Dow, not quite as bullish. It's still, I mean, it's flying, but this was just trading a little bit higher. However, as you can see, NQ has just been more sideways overall. So let me manage these over here. Super delayed. All right. Oh, I lied. My entry. Oh, I got such a good entry. Wow. I literally got 47.12 on this one. Crazy. Oh, no, 47.17. Sick. Positions. All right, so great. Okay, chat, let me know. Did you guys take profit? Are you holding? I think this is a great place for exits. You have imbalance fill structure. So if you're like, you know what, I'm just going to take my 2R, call it a day. I already had 1 and 3 this morning as well, so 2 for the day. Let's go. Got the same entry. YM was looking to turn more bearish than NQ. That's why I took NQ. Cool. NQ, if y'all took NQ, amazing. Good shakeout play. 1.34 hit. Beautiful. 3R secured. Amazing. Guys, go ahead and drop that in our chat, in our community. Post that on your stories. Let's go. I love when I watch London just have eyes on a setup, then you come on and take the one I've been looking at. Amazing. Past the first stage of my funded. Yo, let's give it up for the artist, S. Lee. It's going to be a great day. That's right. Agreed. Move to break even. TP'd at 2.25. Beautiful. I love it. Well done, guys. This bad boy is ripping right now. All right, gotta adjust this with many. I have a lot going on here actually. Okay, here we got this play going. Okay. Awesome. So this has ran close to a 3R. I have, it looks like I got filled in different places with different things, but either way, right around here. I mean, I think if you're running this right now, no reason to have any risk on the table. I believe that this could be something that you have also, whether it's break even or stop profit. So this to me looks solid. Well over 100 points on this one. I appreciate you guys with the patience here. All right. Cool. So that's running. I'm still holding. I'm very much curious to see if we're going to rip here. There's a lot going on. Now, going back to gold, right? Gold traded even lower into the zone before. Again, it's getting a decent bounce. Silver, I think, still has a chance of pushing. So either way, I'm out of this. I'm not really looking to do much here. Where I do want to point something out, and I think I'm just going to open up a third one. Also, guys, so check this out. This to me is really, really a cool competition. I brought it up in the community yesterday, but I don't know, people that I guess no one really wanted to look at it. But it's just a trading competition. If you have an account with Tradetopia, it's free. If you don't, it's $35 to enter. But the top 400 people can come out with money. Like 400. Guys, you guys are like in this community. Are you kidding me? This is light work. And then top 100, basically make 1,000 or more. But have a call with these guys. I'm going to see if I can get us a team, because then there's over 25 grand in giveaways for like the team, whoever the champion is, their team can basically, everyone gets to make money. And then the top trader in teams of 500 plus also make 5 grand. So pretty sick. So I'm going to see if I can get us a spot here. If not for this one, then for the next time. So either way, if we don't and you guys want to run this up, then, just join someone else's, because you could make some money just by having that. But it's pretty cool. Like, the idea is pretty cool. In the first week, you just trade. You just build your account. There's, like, no knockout or anything like that. But then afterwards, the bottom 30% of traders, I think based on account balance, get knocked out every day until there's only 200 left. But ranks 200 to 400, 201 to 400 get $300. This is pretty sweet. And then once I think week 2 is over, then you're trading with the live capital that you have. And then so it's another 2 weeks. The winner gets 200 grand. The top 200 collectively do 1,000, and then you get to keep 80% of the profits that you trade on your account anyways. So pretty sick. I just started this one. I didn't even end up taking a trade yesterday, but I don't know, pretty dope. It's not like obviously too overpriced or anything. And so I don't know. I think it's a really cool concept, and hopefully I can get us a team. So if you guys can give me a bit of time, the last day to register is, I think, Friday. So I'll let you guys know if I'm able to get us a team for this one. I don't know if that's going to happen, to be honest. I feel like maybe for the next one, but pretty cool. I have an account with these guys right now. I've had, no issues, but I haven't gotten to a point where I can get a payout yet. So I'll let you guys know about that. But yeah, anyways, not an affiliate with these guys or anything. Just kind of, playing it by ear, seeing what's good. So, guys, with Dow, we've gotten past a 3.6R. We did just do a nice little liquidity sweep of the highs from London session. So now we're really going to see, okay, is the market going to just take these highs out and then tank? Are we not going to get enough effort here, demand being created? Or are we going to keep pushing and then basically tackle on all of this Asian session liquidity. And so this is kind of what I was talking about. And this is why I wanted to bring up, I want to pull up Bitcoin, because I have a feeling Bitcoin's chart looks just as bullish as we're seeing these other ones right now. I'm sure Bitcoin's ripping too. Yeah. Okay. Classic. The good old switcheroo. Here we go. All right. Tapped right there. Where did I draw this line from? So we saw the market push right into this imbalance and then instant reversal. Instantly, we're seeing this thing on just a tear right now. So swept liquidity again. Here, so the fill was right there. Push down. Here we go again. So this is what I'm talking about. If all of a sudden we end up coming back, trading in the 2,000 pips higher, it's just another prime example of the market doing market things. And Q pushing. As of now, it looks like it's establishing pretty good structure. And I'm sure you guys are noticing something here, which is that if we start to really create quality demand, then there may even be another opportunity for a buy later today. Whether we have it happen today or it happens at another time. You see the textbook liquidity sweep plays into the imbalance mitigation. So now this is a textbook sell-off. So this is a smart money sell. The market rallies. So there may just be another buy opportunity later on, somewhere over here, whether it's with Dow or it's with NASDAQ. Right now, NASDAQ is doing an excellent job just clearing out a considerable amount of, London session, sellers, done. Now it's trending, it's trading towards some of this Asian session sells as well. I feel like we haven't seen enough liquidity sweep, but if you're in consideration of exits, I do think this is a great place for exits. Maybe we push a little higher, trading towards this previous level, this structure level over here from Friday, but I don't think it's a bad place to take an exit or take some partials or anything like that. So I'm going to place an alert if we get like right to here and Q. We're seeing, looks like Dow just tagged this here. So I don't know. There's a lot of this. Maybe we come back and then rally. But at the moment, right now we're seeing NASDAQ is trading where we had around 11:45 p.m. yesterday. Dow is trading basically around the same areas. I just got funded with this trade, Mago. Let's go, Rafa. Sheesh. Congrats, man. The artiste slide. Oh, what's up? Yeah, man. Good stuff. Charles, you've been on it, man. I will do a trail stop. Too much liquidity above, as you mentioned. Nice. Trail it well. Congrats, everyone. We love to see it. Explica esa entrada en español. Jaja, la tomé, pero solo confiando en ti. Sebastián, en la escuela, en la comunidad, tengo ahí todo. If you guys are here and you don't know how I trade or anything about just, I guess, what we do, the Smart Money Playbook is right here. So this basically walks you through the setups. And then through that link, you'll get the PDF, and then you'll also have it'll send you to the community too. So you have that there. And then if you want to join our community where there's just like so many resources, how to build your system, psychology, like deep. This is stuff we've been working on for 10 years. Understanding entry models, exit models, risk management. All of that is in there. So here you go. There's that here. All right, pretty good. This would be cool. What are you risking on that challenge per setup? Signed up for the competition yesterday. Nice. Top step, half of the target. Fantastic. Love that. Down. Yeah, run it up. Run it up. Give me time till 12:30 because if we have a team, then dude, we can run this. It'll be so cool to see the team win it. NQ hit a 3R. Beautiful. What's up, Luis? Amazing. 25,885 is your exit. 25,885. Okay, right in this order block right here. This is a good exit within this. It's not a bad exit at all. Sebastian is a savage for that. Sebastian. I don't think I saw a comment from a Sebastian. Oh, yeah. I see. Tradetopia squad. Let's get the team, man. I want to get the team going here. So it looks like we just tapped this order block. As expected, you'd get a little bit of reversal. Now the question is it going to be the reversal? So one of the things that I want you guys to consider is, do you struggle to hold a winner, and is it easier for you to hold a loser, and why? So looking at how the market just has been bleeding since end of day Monday, which was yesterday. Can the market work its way up to this level? Should it? Well, let's zoom out. Let's look at this from this perspective. So seeing it from this point of view, here we go. Seeing it from this point of view, looks like the market became very efficient here when it met this imbalance, and not only is it meeting imbalance or in this gap, but the reason that why didn't it go lower? Should it have gone lower? The reason that I felt like, okay, the market's ready to roll is because we also played into the complete imbalance fill with Dow, and we also mitigated at it here. So it just looked like structure beyond all of this was ready, and I walked you guys through that. That's why I just felt very confident. Thank you for this setup, and then also elongating the exit, like letting this thing rip, letting it continue to rally. So I wouldn't be surprised if we trade higher for sure. But the question is, are you willing to have the market reverse on you? So it's not just like, oh, cool, let's make some money. It's, well, do I want to withstand all of this? Like, what if it comes back? What are the consequences of all that? Awesome. Guys, love it. Who here feels like, and I have a challenge for you guys. I feel like we got to get these people eating with us. Learning, eating, enjoying. It's Tuesday, so this wasn't just tacos. It wasn't just burritos. This is the whole carne asada, enchilada for the whole familia. It's a fiesta, I'm still holding this. So, one of these that I got executed on, I'm actually at a 6R right now. Now, look, at this point, I do think there's some chances for reversals considering we are meeting some previous levels of structure. So I'm hungry. Oh, I'm fucking starving, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so hungry. But what I'm going to do now is, guys, I'm gonna take some money here. I'm going to lock this in. We collected just about 300 points on this one. So I want NQ to go hit this right here. I'm holding until NASDAQ goes and taps this. This might be a 300-point trade. So going to go ahead and lock this one in. All right. Yes. Okay. There we go. All right. So I just closed here. And then let's close this one as well. 2 positions. Yes. Liquidate all. Yes. All right. Sweet. Fantastic. And here's the thing. Here's why I'm also cool with this. So ended up with a little over a 6R on one of these and then a 4R on another. But, I mean, we just have another setup also lined up. So if we do come back, here is the next trade that we can take as well. So let me just mark this up so you guys have this. I'm sure you guys can notice it, can acknowledge it. So you have here, this was the first trade. So mission complete here. And then we have this one over here. So this is a different setup that we could definitely see later. Okay. One of my strengths is letting trades run. Letting the winners really ride. All right, so like I mentioned, this order block is really giving NQ a hard time. So if that's why I said exits here just makes sense. And then on top of that, we also have just structure across the board. So Dow here had a previous low. NASDAQ as well. You had support. This can function as resistance. So that's why exits feel good. Like giving back. Imagine for the sake of taking 5 more points, you give back 120. That's kind of like my thought process. There was like, I'm not really thinking that's the best of ideas. All right. In the meantime, we're seeing Bitcoin recover nicely. Not as aggressive as indices, but semi-aggressively. And then Bitcoin could be creating a move. So I want to see this rally a bit more. I think we can get into some of this imbalance. So like if we approach 106, I just want to be aware. And then, obviously we're having alts run as well with it. Where is ETH? ETH is starting to move a bit more aggressively than Bitcoin though. So little alts shift is in effect. Here we go. Bitcoin dominance. This is what I wanted to see. So as we're seeing a rally for Bitcoin, we're also getting Bitcoin dominance going down. Okay. Now let's go take a look at those metals. Gold mitigation textbook played out. Great. Some of you, maybe if you took this, I know some of you, we talked about these 2 setups. As you know, I was more so looking for silver, but this did give almost a 3R. So if anyone took this, fantastic. I'd say make sure your stops are at break even. I didn't take this at all. And then silver still has more room to drop. So I'm patient with this one. Been waiting for a minute. I think I sent this out maybe 7 days ago. So if that's the case, then there's a chance we see gold maybe clear these lows, because this would be taking out some buyers. So I'm going to see if we see gold clear this liquidity over here and that triggers silver in. That's good. All right. So 100 points, 300 points now for Dow. I think I left a runner here somewhere. No. Sweet. Just shy of 300 for me. Corey, were you able to take profit on your NQ trade? Close on positions, let a few ride. Nice. Don't forget the barbacoa. Okay. Compliment with the 1942. Sheesh. Mike, veo liquidez arriba de Nasdaq, arriba de la zona de venta. I got a YM too early. Well, okay. Is it too early if it was just your plan? You know, I would say probably not. Yeah, I saw that ICP finally woke up. So I have not invested in ICP. I don't like the tokenomics of ICP, but I'm glad that my friends are out of, well, I don't know if you're out of drawdown, but I'm glad that this thing got revived. So absolute over 100% growth for you guys over the last couple of days. Huh? Okay. 3%, your plan was 2%, so I'm grateful. Yeah, amazing, man. Good stuff. So, yeah, right now, like, ICP probably, right now I just looked for imbalance over here. So it's on its own mission. I'm not in this. I don't plan on being in this. The tokenomics are, like, way too inflationary. It's for my liking. So, yeah, I'm not really looking to be too involved in this. It's a similar thing with Sol. Sol's tokenomics are just not great. Now, what I want to see, and I haven't had a time to look at, so I don't know if I'm going to be disgusted or pleasantly surprised with the stock market today. Weeble under $10, $9.99. Okay. DCA continues. Snap around, basically entry. Lucid. It's still within this imbalance. Okay, cool. So I'm going to add on I'm going to continue to add to this, especially if, let's see, am I going to have a payout here with this one? Let me see. I might be payout qualified already for Tradetopia. It was quick. It was like 2 trading days. Nah, I need a little more. All right, so not too bad. Chipotle still right around entry levels. What's been bleeding here? Uber, okay. Uber gapping down. Not enough for me to do anything there. Intel, great exits here. I took out my initial, so I'm risk free on Intel now. Etsy, huge drop. Nice. So we also took profit when it switched over to the New York Stock Exchange from, what was it on? I think it was on NASDAQ. All right. You wanted an entry on Starbucks first, like at some point, right? Wow, Yum gapped up. That's not what I wanted after earnings. Dang. Wanted that. lift. No shot in getting in there. Coinbase. Okay. Oh, damn. When did Ferrari do this? I didn't see this. Ferrari, big gap down. Almost towards his 350. Okay. All right. You said Rumble, right? So Nance has been looking at this for those of you interested. It's an interesting play. Pushing down a bit further. We're looking for an entry around a little under 433 for Rumble. It's like the alternative to YouTube, if you're not familiar. I think it has a cool angle. I know Tether invested like 780 or something million into these guys. If I were to grade this stock, I'd give it probably like a C+, but upside potential, you know. So I'm going to stay patient on that, but that's about it. More DCA going on. I honestly didn't expect to get Webull this low. So unfortunate. Thought I had a pretty good. I honestly thought I was going to have a really good entry here. Down about 23% right now. But this is one I'm open to holding anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Obviously, being a crypto holder, 20% drawdown is really not something I'm too concerned about. YM, look at that. Still ripping. Who's holding this thing? Anybody? Okay. In and out. Mike, let's meet in Seoul, South Korea. South Korea. No plans on going to South Korea anytime soon. South Korea is like Asian America now. Anyone been there? Yeah, Rumble's goated for free speech. Yeah, it's like the decentralized kind of vibe to it. It's pretty cool. CJ Holding, legend. Zcash hits another. Yeah, I've seen Zcash just been on absolute, just like unbothered from everything in sight. Wow, look at this thing. Yeah, so this is going for the Asian session liquidity. Dow on a move. And NQ is like, all right, fine, let's rip. So it's interesting. One thing that I've noticed that I've been picking up more information on is that once. So, all right. So look at it like this. When we start to see like a structure get efficient. So you see how Dow was like, all right, cool, full retracement, mitigation, all set in stone. When we start to see this, like these kinds of scenarios, then the market gives us like this secondary drop and balance fill. The one that's like fully efficient seems to go ham. So for example, NQ was, dropping not quite to the same level. This had a nice little fill in this, in the gap, but it didn't rebalance the same way that we saw, Dow get to. Dow dropped all the way down to Friday, October 24th. Here was this mitigation. So it traded into here. NASDAQ didn't really get anywhere near any of these other areas, right? It's way further up in this range. So I wouldn't be that shocked if we end up trading lower with NQ for a bit. So like, let's say NQ goes and makes maybe lower lows while we end up seeing Dow make higher lows, since it just has more to do. So, things I'm observing, I'm just kind of giving you guys my thoughts on when we see a shift in price action, when all of a sudden what was the most bearish turns into the most bullish. Like, when do those things happen? So, seeing them happen. Like today was that example. Today we're seeing that. So as you collect more and more data on, all right, when do we get this flip in price action? It's something like this. Or are you planning EU travel? We have a couple things lined up for Europe. Nothing that I could tell you with conviction. Our goal is to do so. Our goal, we will have a Tradetopia retreat. So our tradecations, we will have one of those here on this part of the world. I'll say within, just in this area of the world. I'll just put it on this hemisphere. And then Europe. Do we have anything in mind for Europe? In 2026, Q3? Okay. And then our goal is to do one in Japan as well, but I can't give you guys a timeline on that. All right, sweet. All right, anyways, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up there. I think that's just about it. We're seeing a pretty good rally across the board. I'm not really too concerned markets-wise. I think stocks will have their own ripple effect here later on too. Bitcoin here started to push nicely to the upside. Starting to lose a little bit of steam, but nothing too crazy. So let's see if this thing wants to continue some motion to the upside. But yeah, guys, thanks for being on. Of course, if you guys learned something new today, we love to just hear it. So let us know in the community. Always open to seeing your feedback. If you guys are really feeling super giving here, then we would love to receive your testimonials. That means the world to us. So to be able to get that, it goes a long way. But take advantage of the resources. If you're not in the community, then you should be. So check this out. And then, obviously I stream and do this for free, right? We don't charge a membership. We don't do anything like that. Now, of course, if you do want to work more hands-on, I do encourage, if you want to accelerate your timeline, I would say it's probably like a 5 to 10x acceleration of your journey and a way higher success rate. Then I do suggest scanning on the right. But, if that's not something you're looking for, but you still want to support Tradetopia, then definitely go and check out what we have available, dropping a whole bunch of new merch. So, if you want to if you're getting a little withdrawal today, if you're getting a payout today, and you want to look fresh and represent all traders around the world, then go ahead and check out this site, Tradetopia.store. Boom. And of course, guys, we are starting the book club for Breaking the Habit of Breaking Your Plan, and we will start that here in a week. So let's run it up. Check that out. Also available at Tradetopia.store. So much love, y'all. Efficient session, in and out of the markets. You made your money. So enjoy the day. Go get a workout in if you haven't already. Go, get some fresh air. Enjoy the time. Journal. Please journal. If you don't have it, also available on the store. All right. Take care, guys. Peace.